मास्टर्स में देखिए, इनमें है जोश, इनमें है ताकत, इनका हर वार है असरदार। ये है
Welcome back to the best Kung Fu Cinema channel. You're at Warriors Heroes Kung Fu Cinema. Special greetings to Level 3 members Brian Mills and Jawar Karega. The classic Kung Fu storyline, centered on a disciple who acquires new skills under the guidance of a reserved and solitary master, has been a staple of the genre since Snake in the Eagle's Shadow. In this later production by the Shaw brothers, the concept reaches its natural evolution. If the master-student dynamic has captivated audiences, why not triple it? Thus, with 3 apprentices in the mix and a disgraced master seeking revenge for his humiliation, 5 Superfighters is born. The city is thrown into turmoil when a hooded kung fu expert arrives, determined to embarrass the local masters with his exceptional skill. His arrogance leads him to defeat multiple fighters, tarnishing their reputations. However, his path crosses with a humble and modest master and his 3 dedicated disciples, who watch his actions with growing concern. After suffering a humiliating loss, the defeated master retreats alongside his students, devastated by the complete destruction of his prestige. His despair ignites a fierce desire for revenge in his 3 disciples. Yet, aware of their own limitations, they decide to part ways and seek out worthy masters to enhance their skills. The first Avenger encounters an eccentric master of the crane style, who effortlessly defeats him in battle. However, after some skillful persuasion, the master agrees to take in the newcomer and teach him the precise movements of the crane. The second student befriends a tofu vendor and her blind father. What begins as a misunderstanding turns into a valuable lesson when the young martial artist teaches him how to fight using a cane, transforming the encounter into an unexpected learning experience. The third student, after a failed attempt to steal fish, unexpectedly finds a chance to learn. The initial tension with the fisherman evolves into a valuable mentor-student relationship when the fisherman teaches him the art of fighting with a staff, turning the encounter into a lesson in skill and respect. Meanwhile, the embarrassed original master is also honing his skills, perfecting his saber skills between binges. Five Superfighters is not among the best works of the Shaw brothers. The plot is quite basic, with little depth or explanation for each character. In the best films of the genre, the villain at least has some motivation or reason for their actions. Here, the main antagonist is simply an unpleasant stranger whose only purpose is to cause trouble for those he encounters. Fortunately, this particular kung fu film is packed with impressive fight action. The number of masters and students featured means the choreography has great variety and constantly brings something new to the conflict. The cast of young Shaw stars is well equipped to deliver an exciting final product, and they succeed at different levels of skill. With a storyline this simple, there is potential for things to become too familiar and dull. However, Lao Ma maintains a steady pace. The highlight of Five Superfighters is the lengthy final showdown, which blends various styles with finesse. Scenes like this and the overall straightforward nature of the film make it a great choice for fans of the genre. It may not be the best of its kind, but it has plenty to recommend it. Martial arts cinema of the era is characterized by characters embodying classic genre roles, the villain each with well-defined contrasts, following a recurring formula in many productions of those years. During the 1960s and 1970s, Shaw Brothers dominated the scene with a significant advantage over its competitors. However, by the late 1970s, this dominance weakened with the emergence of new production companies that revitalized the genre. Seasonal Films, led by Yuan Wuping and Ng Si Yuan, established itself as a strong competitor among action film enthusiasts. At the same time, the newly founded Golden Harvest, headed by Raymond Chow, former Shaw Brothers executive, managed to bring together three major figures, Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, and Yuan Biao, solidifying its position in the industry. Five Superfighters follows the successful trend of drunken kung fu films, which were booming after the phenomenal success of Drunken Master the previous year. Shaw Brothers sought to compete with Seasonal Films production and developed its own story and characters for this adventure, adding an unusual twist. Ma, as the main villain, is a remarkable character, despite only appearing at the beginning and the end of the movie. However, his entrance was unforgettable, and his conclusion even more so, as it is clear that his fighting skills surpass those of the others. The sheer boldness of his presence, his calm and calculated way of striking different people on screen, combined with his sinister charisma, are the qualities that set him apart from the rest of the characters. On the other hand, the script is not a masterpiece, the sets are simple theatrical stages, and most of the action consists of consecutive fight scenes. However, they are executed with such fluidity and precision that they ultimately provide the main driving force of the entire film and a gradual motivation for all our characters. What more could a martial arts enthusiast ask for? The long fight scenes, minimal cuts and editing, simple characters, and an easy-to-follow plot make this a great movie that you simply can't miss.